It is officially January, and that means it's time for the monthly project overview. The monthly overview is right here. The first part of it is the projects that I recently completed, then the projects that I am currently doing right now, and the last part is something that I just made called the ambition scale. It is where I rank the projects that I would like to get started on a scale from this is very easy to this is overly ambitious of you. I'd like to see you try. The first thing that I want to talk about is this zine. I am so proud of it. I have never made a zine before, so this was very new territory for me. I love color theory and color seasons. I'm always thinking about like, oh, like what does this color represent? How does it feel? What does it mean? How will it be perceived? How do I perceive it? On the music side of things, I've always connected sound with emotion and also with color. And apparently that is called synesthesia. Ever since I can remember, I have always connected colors with objects and sounds. So my great idea was to combine these elements of sound and color, what I associate a certain musical element, what that sound looks like to me. So that is how you get the color of sound synesthesia. I used objects, craft objects from my art bins at home. I assembled them into little patterns of what I was visually picking up on from sound, from an assigned sound. And so I sort of had this set up on my floor, mini photo studio, and oh my goodness, I spent hours and hours taking photos of all these craft objects. So that is how I ended up with this, and I'm just very proud of it, and I learned how to use Adobe InDesign to create this, and now I can say that I am fairly confident in using the program, but also setting up a whole photo shoot session for myself and editing things in Adobe Photoshop. So those are all skills that I did not know like 4 months ago. So that was really awesome. Another project that I recently completed was for the holidays, some gifts. I made some knitted scarves for loved ones, and I used my Centro knitting machine to make them. One thing about me is that I've always been a crocheter, not a knitter, so that Centro knitting machine has been really helpful. But it broke because I was using yarn that it did not get along with. So now I have to like hold it a weird way to like crank it, and just got really uncomfortable. So that's why I want to learn how to knit things by hand. The Centro machine is really nice for just cranking things out really fast, especially for gift making. But yeah, that leads me into a project that I'm currently working on, which is a knitted headband. I'm about like a quarter way through with that. I'm using circular knitting needles for the first time, so that has definitely been an adventure for sure. It's not my best work, but then again, I don't know what my best work in knitting looks like yet because I haven't really given myself a chance, but it's supposed to, like one of those chunky headbands. And I'm really on a headband, what's the word, a headband kick right now. Look at this, isn't it so cute? It's sparkly. So yeah, I'm using 100% cotton yarn for this. I love using cotton yarn or any other kind of natural fibers because I'm really hating plastic. And I've been trying to be more intentional about, like, if I'm creating something, what's the most sustainable way of creating it, and will it last long? Will it biodegrade if it needs to, type thing. And as somebody who works with fiber, who does fiber art, I am always sneezing and breathing in all of the tiny little fibers off of the yarn. So I'd much rather sneeze from cotton fiber than from polyester fiber getting up in my nose. So that's not fun and that's not great. So yeah, we will see whether I finish this or not, whether I take it apart, because it's kind of looking a little rough, but that's that. Next, we get into what I want to work on this month in terms of art projects, because I have lots of ideas up here. These are just the projects that have been on the front of my mind that I am more inclined to want to get done versus the thousands of ideas that I get from online, talking to other people, things around me, things that I need, and I'm like, oh, I could make that. I could make that. So the first thing is very practical. I need to organize my sheet music. I am a bit overwhelmed, honestly, with the amount of sheet music that I have piled on my desk, which is a reason why I haven't been using my desk, and that is not great because I need to be able to get to my desk and stuff. So purchasing, or honestly just finding like accordion folders to organize my sheet music in, and finding or creating a space in my bookshelf to store that is on the easy side of my scale. It is just something that I need to get to. The next easy-ish thing is listing some of my old clothing on Depop. Technically, it's fairly easy to do that. It just takes a lot of time, and sometimes I don't feel that motivated to take that time to list things. But yeah, there's just a bag of clothing that has been in my room on the floor in a corner for a couple of months now, and I would like it gone. Otherwise it's gonna start becoming a permanent piece of furniture that I can't use. So decoration in my room for a couple other months. Something that I think is in between and like in the middle of my ambition scale is knitting some gloves or mittens for myself. It's very cold here, and my hands get really cold. And I walk my dogs, and so I can't keep my hands in my pockets because I'm holding leashes. So having a good pair of, honestly, mittens, and mittens might be easier to knit than gloves. So just a good pair of mittens I would like to make before the cold season is over, which ends up becoming a little more ambitious because knitting takes time. Also, I've never knit gloves, or even I've crocheted gloves, but I haven't knit gloves. So that's just a little more ambitious. It's not doable, but it just take a little more trial and error. And lastly, a project that I've been putting on my mental I want to do this project list for a while now has been to do a self-led, self-produced photo shoot of an album cover for an album that I haven't even finished making, but I have so many songs that I need to get to, and honestly that's a whole other list for future projects that I need to finish. But I have had this idea for a couple of months now. I went so far as to acquire some clothing for this photo shoot. I've done test practice photos of the poses that I want to do, and I've had this very clear mental image of what I want it to look like for a while now, but it's sort of just been a like time, effort, energy thing to actually clear a space in my room, set up a green screen, charge my camera batteries, take the photos, then upload to computer, go in Photoshop, edit the photos, and then have a completed album art. So that's on my ambition scale. That's quite ambitious for me because if it wasn't, then I would have got it done already. So that was it for my January monthly project overview. I'm thinking of doing update videos and take you guys along with me as I get to those projects that I've put on this list. Till next time, bye.